welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you'll find it useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form. In a few moments, we're going to discuss three reasons why it's important not to get back with an ex. All that's coming up very, very soon. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this awesome book, Sexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. I'm the author of this awesome fibromyalgia self-help handbook, How to Manage Fibromyalgia to Have Less Pain, More Energy and Feel Happier, like a superhero rock star. Let's get into it then. So, 3 reasons why you should not get back with an ex. So I watch a lot of entrepreneur videos, and I watch a lot of kind of spiritual stuff and manifestation videos. And one of the things that a lot of people, hi Andy, lots of love to you, nice to see you. A lot of people who are spiritual and want to manifest something, one of the things they keep usually asking is how to manifest an ex back, right? I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why you would not want to get back with your ex. Right, so reason number 1. The first reason is, have they changed, right? Has anything actually changed since you were last in a relationship with them, right? Now, this is twofold, right? 1 is it, have you changed? And 2 is it, have they changed? Because unless there's some fundamental, really deep change in the people who you are and who you've become, and you've developed and grown yourself into being better people, into progressing with your life and yourself, and, you know, getting to a better place, then you're going to end up having the same problems repeat themselves over and over and over again, right? You shouldn't get back with an ex unless there's some fundamental changes that you've both done, because you'll just repeat the same pattern as you did before. Sure, it might be the honeymoon period for a few weeks, you know, the excitement of getting back with each other, the passion and all that lot, but after that, what's going to happen? You're just going to end up with the same arguments, the same problems, the same situations you're in before, and it'll just be on a repeated cycle over and over and over again, right? 2 people both have to make serious changes if 2 people were the problem in the first place. And usually, in any relationship, there's at least 2 people, and that means 2 people weren't getting on. There was some sort of problem usually that caused you to split up in the first place. Obviously, it might be that one of you decide to relocate, and you could think, well, one of us relocated, so, you know, that's just the way it was. But what happens if they get a job in the future and it means they got to relocate again? Is there going to be stability in that? Or is the person just going to decide, well, I've got to relocate again? Do you see what I'm saying? Just because it's a situation where, oh, right, this person's come to live nearer me now, doesn't mean to say that they're going to stick around, right? So you've got to be very careful about this, you know, and ultimately you've got to think of your long-term future. Do they want a long-term relationship with you? Or is it just a case of the passions there, the excitement of seeing each other, the fact that you haven't chatted for ages and you're just getting really, really to know each other again? It's like, oh, I've been to Hong Kong, I've been to Australia, you know, in past time since I haven't been with you. This is what I've done. It all sounds very exciting and bubbly and great and kind of fantastic. And there's all this kind of sparks flying that don't have to be sexual sparks. They can just be these kind of like, you know, these really conversations that just spark deep interest, because obviously when someone's talking about stuff they've done in their life, you know, that they're very passionate about, that comes across and it's very alluring. It's very attractive, even if it's not a sexual type of chemistry and attraction. It's very attractive quality. You know, people get attracted to things that are exciting, that are fun to be around, that have some sort of intrigue or interest. And if you love traveling, particularly yourself, and this person's been on lots of travels, you know, telling you all these wonderful stories, all that can sweep you off your feet again. And you can think this is just like, old times, but better because we haven't got all the rubbish we had before, right? And I'm not saying people can't change, but that's the point. Have you both changed? And are you going to be able to grow together going forward, right? The second thing is about trust. Can you trust the person, right? So if you were in a relationship with a person before, and there was something that they did that betrayed your trust, how are you going to be able to get back into a relationship with them and not hold that against them, not resent them, and not have them break your trust in that way again? If they've broke your trust already, it's going to take a lot of extra work to ever be back in some sort of relationship that's stable, strong, secure, and that feels relaxed and good, right? So if you've had problems with trust in the past, then obviously I would not recommend going back into that relationship, because you're just going to get the same pattern repeated, that you can't trust the person. There is exceptions to rules, right? There was someone I knew and used to work with, and she was actually married to the father of her son years ago. Or I don't know if she was married, but she was, I think she was originally married to him. She was with him anyway. They had a kid together, were very young, and then he went off with another woman. And years later, they then got married again. I think they were married in the first place. They then got married again. Right, and she forgave him for cheating on her years later, because she thought he was just really young when they got together, and he wasn't, he was like playing the field and stuff, but he'd really changed. So therefore she married him, and then the son got the father back, basically, in the family unit. So there are exceptions to the rules where, it can work out. Even if you've had some sort of problem in the past of trust issue, you can still get over that. So it's not this completely unachievable, but it's like, why do you want to put all that time, energy, and effort into something if it's really going to be hard and difficult for you to do, unless it's going to be worth your while? If the person hasn't got, number one, if they haven't changed in any way, then don't bother getting back with them, because you'll have the same problems repeating themselves. You don't need to be the one that that forgives someone and thinks things are gonna be different if they haven't changed. Do you see what I'm saying? If they haven't changed, they're still going to be liable to being cheater or liar, whatever they did in the past. They have to fundamentally have changed on a deep root level, so that going forward that you can trust them, be with them, and that it's going to be a stable relationship for you. If you can't trust the person, it's going to be up and down all the time, bumpy, right? Which leads me on to number 3, right? Is there's a greater sense of control by at least one person, usually, in a relationship if you get back with your ex, right? So if you have an ex and you decide, I really miss them, I really want them, I really want to be with them, and you get back with them, that person has got the ultimate more control over you, because they know that you can't really be without them. All right. So on a subconscious level rather than an actual conscious level, some of the time, depends what type of person you're dealing with, they can have a greater sense of control, because obviously you still are pining after them, you still thinking about them, you still want to be with them. That gives them the upper hand, and in that way it gives them the upper hand to treat you badly if they wish to, right? If they're in any way, shape or form an abuser, a narcissist, they've physically hurt you, emotionally manipulated, do not get back with that person, because they will have the ultimate control over you then, that you cannot live without them. That however hard you try and break free from their grasp, they will always get you back. I know from personal experience this, right? I was in a relationship for 8.5 years in total, but what some of you know and some of you don't know is, with that person, I was actually with them for 1.5 years in a relationship, and we split up for 6 months, and he stalked me for 6 months, and I got the police involved, and that didn't work, and it was my own fault. I was still very much in love with him. Eventually I got fed up. I just found out where he lived, and I went up there to sort it out and say, stop stalking me at work, stop stalking me everywhere, I'm fed up with it. And then he wheedled his way back into my life, sweet talked me to coming back to be in a relationship with him. And he knew back then the control he had over me. Do you know what I mean? That I couldn't resist his allure. And there's some people you've got that type of chemistry with. There's some people that if you are around them, they will try and lure you back in. They've got that kind of relationship with you. So the best thing is to just cut off from that person completely and never speak to them again, and think they're a danger to you, especially if they're an abuser, emotionally manipulator. You know, don't think they've changed. These people who have got narcissistic traits, they're very, very. I've not known people who are narcissistic to change. Usually they stay as they are. They always have some narcissistic traits. And if they're abused or manipulated, they usually always carry it on throughout their life, right? I'm not saying that people can't change, but you know, there's a higher percentage that don't change because they don't want to. The whole point of a narcissist, they don't believe anything's wrong with them. They don't think they have to change. Do you know what I mean? So whenever you get back into a relationship, especially if you're the one who asks to get back into a relationship, you're the one who wants to get back into a relationship, the other person always has some more control. Because they can, you know, if they're not a good person, particularly, they can just keep you hanging, thinking, well, that person's going to be around for me anyway. It doesn't matter. I haven't been with them for a year or 2 years or 5 months, 6 months. They're still pining after me, you know? And that's really sad that a lot of people think like that, but it's the way it goes. It's all to do with the fact you need them. You can't live without them type scenario. And so, you know, do you really want to be in a situation where you're unequal, where one person will always have more control over the other in that way, and they know if they leave you, if it's the other person, that you know that you could just break their heart in an instant again? Just think of all the insecurities there'll be. Think of all the lack of trust issues, which will probably turn into kind of an emotionally abusive relationship anyway. And so it's going to be no good, right? You just need to cut off. And I give you a bonus 4th reason, right? Which pretty much sums up everything, right? Your ex is an ex for a reason, right? There's a reason you split up with them in the first place. And that's a reason you shouldn't get back with them, right? Because if they haven't changed at all and you haven't changed, you both need to change. If there was a lack of trust in the first place, and it seems particularly more one-sided that you want to get back with them rather than they do with you, so they basically got the upper hand and control, then that's the reason you split up with them in the first place. Is the reason you need to stay split up with them. And it doesn't allow a new person to come into your life. So as part of the 4th reason, you know, if you look back, you can honestly put your hand on your heart and say, yeah, everything's going to be great again. If you can't do that, then just forget it. An ex is an ex for a reason, and no one new and wonderful can come into your life so long as you're pining after an ex. If your heart belongs to another, the people that are coming into your life haven't got a place to possibly be in your heart, because you're hankering after another all the time. It doesn't deserve you because they're an ex for a reason, right? So please don't get back with an ex. Move on. Realize that you can take back the control of your own life. You can stop pining after something that wasn't meant to be, and look forward to fresh and new opportunities coming into your life with different people. People are possibly better for you, more suitable for a relationship with you, or just people that in general make you a better version of yourself, right? And that's happier and healthier for you to be around. You know, it's very, very important. So those are the 3 reasons, plus the bonus 4th reason of why you should never, ever get back with an ex. If you enjoyed this video, please, please, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section down below underneath this video. What do you think of these reasons not to get back with an ex? If you've got back with an ex before, what has been your experience? Have you loved it? Have you thought it was the best thing ever? Or have you agreed and thought, yeah, sheesh, I wish I'd never got back with that person again, or never even thought about it? Or are you kind of pining over a person you've been like that for ages, and you know, it's just no good? You know, you just like don't know what to do. Like I said, just move on. Thank you, Andy. That's great. I'm glad you enjoyed the useful advice. If you like this video, please, please, please give it a thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate that. Thanks for listening, Andy. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I hope other people have found it useful, helpful, insightful as well. And I'm glad you have, Andy. I really appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, please hit this subscribe button and hit that bell notifications to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Take care. Bye.